And hello, everybody. Welcome to our interGenerations readings for our Monday, Wednesday class. My name is Heather Beasley.
I'm Josh Hartwell.
And we want to welcome you to the readings today. First, I want to take just a minute to give you a little bit of a brief class overview. So for the last 5 weeks, we've been meeting with the students in the class who are a mix of high school students and older adults 50 plus. And the students for the first 2 weeks learned some terminology and did a bunch of writing exercises. In week 3, they partnered with each other to conduct in-depth interviews that are based on the StoryCorps interviewing model, for those of you who might have heard some of the StoryCorps stories on Fridays on NPR. And then in weeks 4 and 5 of the class, they wrote short plays that were inspired by the experiences they heard about through those interview processes. And those are the works in progress that we are going to be listening to today.
Yes, these readings are works in progress that the students can continue to work on and develop beyond this class. They'll be read by BETC ensemble members and guest artists, so the playwrights can hear.
They wrote short plays that were
so that they can hear professional actors interpret their work. Each reading has had a 20-minute rehearsal, so they're not intended to be polished performances, just a chance to hear the work out loud in progress.
And so without further ado, we will go ahead and start sharing these readings with you, and we hope you enjoyed them.
The Cheapest Gift by Tim Williams. The characters: Brittany, played by Rita DeCibio, an energetic high school girl who immediately befriends everyone. She has a particularly strong bond with Adriana, in part because she sees that others don't connect with her and knows she needs a true friend. Adriana, played by Michelle Hahn, is a high school girl who takes the dark origins of her name to heart. She is a goth through and through. Setting: Brittany's bedroom, with Brittany and Adriana sitting on the floor talking. It's a warm, friendly room that conveys confidence, style, and most of all, a sense of self.
It's not fair.
I know, it sucks. Every time my dad gets a promotion, it ruins my life. They don't even care. In Wisconsin. Who wants to move to Wisconsin? I'm going to freeze my ass off. And how am I going to make friends? They probably all voted for him.
No doubt. I think they make you listen to the farm report on the radio to start school every morning. At least you'll know the price of hog futures.
I am not listening to that. Can you imagine me trying to eat lunch with a bunch of 4-Hers? Oh, God. They'll probably talk about the marbling of the mystery meat.
You're not making me want to come and visit you. I went to Pearl Before Swine and bought some yarn to make you a scarf. It'll keep you warm and give you something to remember me by.
That's so nice. I can't believe you can knit. I can barely even tie my shoes. I mean, it'll be great to have it to hide my face while I cringe at my new classmates. You know I leave at the end of the month, right? Is that enough time to get it done?
Probably not. I thought of it too late, so I'll have to send it to you. But you'll love it, I promise. I picked out a special yarn that's just so perfect for you.
6 weeks later, the package arrives. Adriana is in her new bedroom opening it, alone. Her room is spare and mostly monochromatic in gray tones. There are still unpacked boxes from the move.
I'm so excited to see what Brittany made and what she thought was so perfect for me.
Adriana tears open package to reveal a garish pink scarf that is beautifully stitched and finished. Upon seeing it, she makes a face as though it's the ugliest thing she has ever seen.
Uh, I, uh, uh, how did she ever think that this was perfect for me? It's so bright and so not me. What am I ever going to tell her? She worked so hard to make this, and it seems like it's really nice yarn, so it was probably expensive, but I guess at least I didn't open it in front of her. This is so sad. She was the one person that I thought really got me, but this just looks like the first cheap clearance thing she found to buy. I guess I better send her something to let her know I got it.
Pulls out phone to send text and reads aloud as she enters the message.
Hey, got the scarf. Can't wait to wear it. Thanks. Okay, there. That should buy me some time to think of something better to say. Eventually. Like maybe when I start to wear old lady clothes.
Brittany's phone buzzes. She pulls it out and reads the text.
I'm so glad she got it. I can't wait to see what she wears it with and how she looks with it on.
1 week later, Adriana is getting ready for school. The radio is playing in the background, and we hear the final handful of beats of Umbrella by Rihanna, followed by the DJ saying, "You won't need an umbrella today, but you better bundle up. High only 10 and a wind chill of 10 below."
I cannot believe I live somewhere this freaking cold. I guess it's time to break out Brittany's scarf. It's hideous, but I got nothing else. At least it will match my cheeks in this wind.
Adriana removes her choker to make way for the scarf and ties it in a braid around her neck, working carefully to ensure she doesn't snag it in the chains attached to her cuff bracelet. She finalizes everything in the mirror to get it just right.
Well, I guess I can make anything look good. It's actually not terrible. It just doesn't go with my outfit and still doesn't seem like me. But it's not like anyone at school will say anything anyway. No one even acknowledges my presence.
That evening, Adriana and Brittany have a Zoom call. Adriana is still wearing the scarf.
I can't thank you enough for this scarf. I wasn't sure it was me since it was so bright, but I wore it today and had a bunch of new people talk to me. It was weird. It was like it was the first time they'd seen me.
You look great in it. I was afraid you'd think it was too bright, so I'm glad you tried it and like it.
I'll be honest, it did seem too bright and I wasn't sure I'd ever wear it. But I decided to try it since it was so cold. And once so many people started complimenting me on it, I began looking around the internet to see if I could figure out why. And I found a site called Dressing Your Truth that helps you learn to dress to better express your inner self. And according to them, this is exactly what I should be wearing, but I never would have thought of that on my own.
That's so cool. I've never heard of it, but I'll have to check it out and see what they recommend for me.
I couldn't believe it. Like especially after seeing the way people reacted today. I have to go to a stupid work party for my dad later this week. So I'm going to try a sapphire blue blouse of my mom's with this scarf and see what happens. Maybe there really is something to this idea of harmonizing your inner and outer self.
I'll bet you're going to look great. You have to promise to show me your outfit and tell me how it goes.
For sure. Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
A few nights later, Brittany receives a notification on her phone and pulls it out to see an Instagram post featuring Ariana's outfit.
Oh, wow. Look at Adriana. Huge shout out to my bestie and soulmate at Britnit for making this special scarf and helping me see there is color in the world. I would have never worn something like this if not for her, but now I feel like it's drawing out my true inner being and helping me connect with people in ways I've never been able to before. Thanks for knowing just what I need, sister. #dress your truth. Wow, that's so cool that she likes the scarf that much and that she feels like it's awakened her to new possibilities. I was afraid she wouldn't like it since it was so bright. And honestly, it was just from a cheap remnant skein of closeout yarn. It's amazing how something so simple and so accidental can have such an impact. I wonder if I can get that lucky with what I'm about to make from this yarn.
Begins working on a project with a new skein of green metallic shimmer yarn. End of play. Age Doesn't Matter by Judy Richtel. Characters are Jocelyn, played by Rita DeCiprio. Mimi, late 70s, played by Anne Sando. She dresses 20 years younger than her age, but outfit is still heads up. Heads turn when she walks by, wearing a leopard skin fabric mask. The setting is a small cafe with outdoor seating, overlooking the ocean. Jocelyn is seated at a table with earpods on, paying attention to her phone. 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. Mimi enters and approaches the table, but Jocelyn does not see her immediately. Finally, Mimi waves her arms in front of Jocelyn because she can't touch her due to COVID. Jocelyn looks up, fumbles around, takes out earbuds, and starts to put on a mask.
How can you hear with those things in your ears?
What?
I do adore this cafe. A bit casual, but the water sparkles today.
You still love it, even after all those spectacular cafes in Italy?
Ah, yes, Italy is charming, but one needs to come home sometimes. Nothing matches the views over the San Francisco Bay on a clear day. Of course, I can enjoy myself wherever I am, and today I get to be with you. Delicious. It is a shame, however, that they don't serve booze. No self-respecting cafe in Italy would be without booze at any hour.
It seems like you go to Italy all the time. That is, in between your jaunts to, well, all over the world. I'm ready for more stories.
Remember when we played that geography game? The board was filled with pieces showing where I traveled. I think we played so often the board and the pieces finally fell apart.
It was so much fun. You would come flitting in from one place on your way to another. You always made me feel so special. Just like today. I'm so glad to see you. It has been, well, I don't like using words like awful, but it has been awful here. This COVID thing has changed my life. Everyone's stressed. Mom and dad are constantly warning us about what we cannot do, but no one has any good ideas about what we can do. I can't believe they want us to spend more time on our computers. Bizarre, they used to set time limits.
When I left, you were looking forward to so much.
Yeah, well, now what I look forward to is good weather, so I can ride my bike past a friend's house to say hello and talk outside. It's not the same. I don't want to talk about it. I want to hear your stories. Make me laugh. Let's pretend it's like it was before.
Remember, it doesn't matter what is happening with the rest of the world. It is the same as always between us. special. I saw friends I haven't seen in years. The food, as usual, exquisite. The parties never ending. The weather was the best. We had this amazing day on my friend's yacht. There were about 20 of us. First, we went for a swim. Then we changed for a fabulous dinner. We watched the most gorgeous sunset. We even had our own fireworks as the chef prepared course after course. I'm not sure if you would call it an adventure. I mean, it wasn't as if we were exploring some way out of the way place, but it was fun. There was laughter, gaiety, and good feelings all around.
Mimi, we were worried about you. Why didn't we hear from you? Why didn't you let us know how this COVID thing was affecting you?
What do you mean? I told you I was okay.
Mom was frantic. You usually call, and every time we tried your cell phone, no one answered. We left message after message.
Oh, you know how challenging it is for me to communicate with those devices. I was busy and having fun.
It doesn't make sense. You got that new phone before you left so you could stay in touch. You know, sometimes it is very frustrating to talk to you. You've never been too busy or confused before. You always stay in touch. You could have found a way. It was Italy, not some out-of-the-way third world country. We wanted to know you were okay. We kept hearing how Italy was filled with COVID. What if you were sick and no one knew how to reach us? Don't you realize how scary things are these days? I already told you people my age are struggling. So much anxiety, and life is so confusing. One day it's online school, and another day they tell us to go to in-person classes, and then it changes again. Figuring out how to see friends, not knowing what is okay and not okay. Trying to walk the line between living a somewhat normal, fun life and not bringing something home that could infect others. It feels so overwhelming. And on top of it, to have a grandmother who gallivants around the world, doesn't stay in touch, and is doing who knows what.
Grandmother? Oh, right, I'm your grandmother. But I consider myself Mimi. We agreed years ago to Mimi because, well, it makes me feel more like Auntie Mame.
Auntie who?
Oh, that's right. No one in your generation knows about Auntie Mame, a progressive, independent, eccentric woman of the 1920s who embarked on endless globe-trotting adventures. Look it up on your Googly or whatever you call it.
Okay, I get it. Still.
I have spent a lifetime not letting anxiety control me. I want to play, have adventures. I have been determined to not become invisible like a lot of old people. I just started practicing when I was young, so I would have it perfected when I got old. Italy was just another adventure. Well, sort of.
What? What did you say?
Okay, here is what really happened. I'll share this with you, but I still don't want everyone to know. I was scared, really scared. When COVID hit, I wasn't sure what to do. At first, I thought it would be fine. Then I realized leaving the country might be difficult, if not impossible. I knew older folks were most at risk. I didn't know where I was going to stay. What if I couldn't leave? What if the US wouldn't let me back in? What if I got sick? What if I never saw my family again? Some friends gave me a room, but it wasn't much of an adventure being locked down. That party on the yacht? A lovely fantasy. Finally, I asked myself, what would Auntie Mame do? I decided I had to find a way to leave Italy, so I pretended to be a whiny old lady who didn't quite understand what was going on. I don't like being whiny and acting as if I'm not quite all there, but I had to convince the airlines and the authorities to let me go home. It worked. Sometimes you simply have to do whatever it takes.
Don't you get it? We were angry, then worried, and all of a sudden we hear you are on your way home. Adventures are wonderful, but what you did was not fair to anyone but yourself. I was actually terrified something bad happened to you.
I can take care of myself. Oh, I'm sorry. I really am. I was so upset about being quarantined in a room. I guess I can enjoy myself wherever I am, except when my freedom is taken away from me.
Sounds like you are having the same problems my friends and I are having. What to do in a world different than what we imagined. Sucks. So what are you going to do now? Stay home? Relax? Take up knitting?
Are you kidding? I'll go again as soon as they let me. There are still so many adventures out there. I can't let fear win. I'll be on the road as long as this body holds up, and I'll come back with more wonderful stories.
Mimi? Grandma? Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Can I go with you?
End of play.
Tips from Angus by Susan Finkelstein. Arson, a non-binary artist, age 16, played by Rita DeCibio. Angus, a fat gray male cat, age 8, played by Luke Sorgi. Jack, a skinny gray male cat, age 7, played by Ben Griffin. Directed by Adrian Egolf. Location, a house anywhere where cats live with people. COVID times. Now, the play takes place over one day.
Why are you all home? Don't you do that thing, go to school? The other people who live here go to a place called work. Where's Jack?
I don't know where Jack is.
Arson, some days I think I want to be human. Do what you do, eat at a table.
Ridiculous. You already climb on the table. And exactly what is it we do all day?
I see you on that device. You draw those nice pictures. What's it called?
Yes, it is called a computer. I do digital art in color or watercolors.
Well, why do you do it? Makes no sense to me to make pictures of humans when you are human.
I do it because I can. I do it to get through this pandemic. I do it because I need to do something. The world out there is in chaos. I do it because art expresses the good and the bad in all of us. I do it to have faith there is life on the other side of COVID. There must be life after this.
Well, I'm not sure what is on the other side. I'm trying to sort out who I am. I am me, a fat male cat. I know my place is this house. I rule over Jack. Where is Jack?
You know, you were named for a type of cow on my grandmother's farm. Maybe you should come back as a dairy or beef cow. How's that for a thought? Do cats reincarnate?
Here's a tip if you are willing to listen. When you are angry, eat. Where is Jack?
Why do you care where Jack is? You keep asking me the same question. Jack is where he is.
I ask because when you and I have resolved if I should be human, I want to play with him, taunt him.
That is mean, really mean. You will have to decide what you want to be. I am trying to decide what I want to be. A digital artist, a writer, a teacher, an actor.
Well, Jack can be naughty. He takes all the toys. Stupid house cat, no brains.
Don't talk about him. I know you think you are better than him. You are just bigger, older, and now meaner. Life is complicated. COVID, lockdowns, people tired of this. What is the new normal? What is normal? School on, school off. I can't tell if people like me on Zoom. Maybe they don't. I wanted to go to the Boulder Theater Ensemble next week, audition for a new play. I can't. I would have gotten the lead. I am a good actor. Maybe even a great actor. How would I know if people like me? Now I can't see their faces. When I go out, people wear masks.
Well, it seems to me you've solved the problem with your art. I see from the bed, my body under the covers, what you are doing. You draw people with too many eyes. It does not make sense to me. Their eyes are glazed over, gray eyes. People and cats have 2 eyes. That's it. 2 eyes, 2 ears. Where is Jack? I can't see him. I can't keep looking for it. Damn it, Jack, just appear!
I know you don't understand. Humans live in a complicated world of duality. Good, bad, kindness, cruelness, openness, judgments. What I draw are superheroes and supervillains. It is sometimes hard to tell them apart. I can't tell if people think I am good or hate me.
Well, now, this is really complicated. Here is another tip if you are willing to listen. When you start getting irrational in your thoughts about what other people think, sleep.
How can I sleep? You are in my bed, eating popcorn, leaving kernels, salt and butter on my pillow. Angus, you already think you are a human. I see you climb up on my computer when I am drawing, doing my digital art. You sniffing at the mouse. You think it is a real mouse? It's not. It's all a part of the world we humans live in. Computers, videos, Facebook, Instagram, social media.
Arson cries into Angus's fur.
Angus, you cannot become a human. You are an empath. I can trust you. I do trust you. You helped guide me when my grandmother died, and I needed to help my mother through her sadness. I became the parent. And when my heart was broken, when someone said they could never love me, you told me I was worthy of love. You know more and have more than most humans. What they need, what we all need. Unconditional love. How do you know this as a fat cat? You are more. You are mine. I will always ask you for your opinions, even your tips.
But you have what I don't have. You have the ability to use words, the ability to draw, to talk about the past and the future. There will be a future for you. And when you go to college, I will be left here with Jack. Your digital art will live on. You will be remembered. Who will remember me?
I will always remember you. That you were with me through so much, helped me when I was feeling alone, isolated some days. The anxiety, uncertainty day by day, not knowing when it will end.
I wish some days I could be like Jack, a simple, skinny, gray house cat who does not question things, who is content. Here's my last tip, Arson. Be happy you are you.
Arson rubs Angus's belly. Jack comes out from under the covers, eating popcorn.
I have heard everything the two of you have said, and here are my tips. 1, be true to yourself. 2, follow your heart. 3, people and cats will love you for who you are. 4, the world is uncertain, and there is tomorrow.
Jack gets back under the covers, nibbling on more popcorn. Angus climbs on the desk to sniff the mouse. Arson grabs a mask and tucks Jack under the covers.
I am going out into the world.
They close the bedroom door.
Jack? Jack! Jack! Don't leave me.
End of play.
Life Preserver by Zen Kretzinger. Younger Florence, played by Michelle Hahn. Older Florence, played by Anastasia Davidson. John, played by Luke Sorgi. Carol, played by Anne Sando. Settings: a hospital room in early 2000s New York. A hotel lobby in 1970s Aruba. Older Florence enters a hospital room and sits in a chair next to the bed where Audrey is lying.
Audrey, I'm so sorry I wasn't here sooner. It's been a mess trying to schedule transportation and you can't hear me. Oh, this is a mess. Your father should be here too, but he's away. He has things he views as more important. Why do I keep letting him let me down, Audrey? I need to calm down. Can I tell you a story?
Younger Florence and Carol enter a hotel lobby. Younger Florence is shivering with a towel wrapped around her shoulders.
I'm glad we were able to get to your hotel so quickly from the dock. You must be exhausted from trying to stay afloat for so long.
I couldn't have swam much more. Today was supposed to be happy.
Do you see your fiance, sweetie? I can check the pier for him if he's not here.
Oh, John isn't here. Why isn't he at our hotel? Please stay with me.
Carol.
Right. Will you stay with me, Carol? I don't want to be alone right now. What if he drowned?
Oh, hey, it's okay. I'm sure he's fine.
Then why did he leave me there?
Florence! Where have you been? My boat almost broke because of you. Well, aren't you going to say anything?
Please stop yelling, John. I didn't mean to be left in the ocean.
You didn't mean to be left. You mean you didn't mean to leave me to navigate my boat alone? Whatever, I don't care.
Florence, can I get you up to your room? You can't sit in those wet clothes forever. Florence?
Yeah, okay, let's go.
Wait. Don't leave. I want to apologize for my outburst. I was just stressed. You understand?
I guess I understand. You were just scared, right? It's okay. I was scared too.
I'm glad you understand. I would hate for this to spoil our engagement. I think we should cancel our diving trip tomorrow. I need to make sure my boat is in stable condition. And you need to regain your nerves, of course.
Yes, good idea. We wouldn't want a broken boat.
Right. Well, you should get some rest.
Back in the hospital room.
It feels like he was never really here with me. This isn't working. Our daughter is in a coma and he can't reschedule a meeting? We can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this. We have to go our separate ways. We need a divorce. Maybe our futures can hold what our pasts couldn't.
End of play.
A Broken Heart by Phyllis Chernow. Natalie, played by Rita DeCibio. Tom, played by Ben Griffin. Natalie is a bright sophomore high schooler hoping to be an actress. Tom is a high school junior interested in physics and math. Natalie is seated on the couch. She is holding the script for a play.
What did you think of John's party?
It's okay. I only went because I know you wanted to.
I really liked seeing everyone and being out for a change.
I wouldn't have minded just staying in.
We really don't go out as much as I'd like, even just to a movie once in a while.
You know, I'd rather watch a movie on the tube.
What makes you feel good?
You make me feel good. You know I love being with you.
He kisses her on the cheek.
No, really. What makes you feel good?
Well, 2 weeks ago, I helped my neighbor down the street to plant a small tree. I dug the deepest hole to make sure the sapling would survive the winter. That was a really good feeling, helping someone else.
That was so nice.
She gives Tom a hug. He holds her tightly and kisses her. Natalie stands and begins to rehearse her lines.
What time are we? Oh, shoot. What time are you coming tomorrow?
I'll be there around 3.
Can't wait to be. Oops. I can't wait to see you.
When is this play? I'm not sure there's enough time. I'm sorry. Continue.
I don't think being sarcastic is helpful.
I know. I won't say a word.
Tom reads from Natalie's script.
What time are you coming? I was hoping I could help you with your play, but the truth is...
Really don't care, right?
Well, you know I care about you, but I've been thinking maybe we should give ourselves a little space.
Are you seeing someone else?
Not really. But my lab partner and I have been studying together once in a while.
What exactly does that mean?
We have a lot more in common, I guess. I'm really sorry. It's just that maybe...
I know we have our differences, but I thought we could try and work through them.
It just seems we are too different. I guess what I want to be with someone who likes to do the same things and have the same interests.
I was hoping we were big enough to give each other the space within our relationship. Guess I was wrong.
You know I will always be here for you. Look, I can't forget how much I wanted to be with you after our first date. I thought your energy and love of life was what I needed in my life.
I thought that you were excited about being with me, wanting to share the moment, to be spontaneous and break out of the doldrums of classes and studies all the time. I know I felt so close to you.
I did get caught up in the moment and felt really good about us. But after a while, it seemed like it was too much. I don't mean to be selfish. I just think you'd be better off with someone who has the same attitude about life, someone who can be as free and creative as you. It's just not me.
Natalie wants to strike back at Tom, but refuses to give in to her feelings.
I guess I should have known this was never going to work, even though I thought we had something special, and that you could grow to want to be with me as much as I wanted to be with you. I thought we could find a middle ground and be as happy with each other as we were when we first met. Silly me.
Tom stands and walks away. Natalie remains on the couch. End of play.
Hint by Ethan Rochkolb. Cast: Butler Reginald Deadbody, Jim Hunt. David Detective Surgeon, Luke Sorge. Samantha Surgeon Detective, Michelle Hahn. Sam, Ben Griffin. Widow Henrietta Window, Anne Sando. Mysterious Man, Josh Hartwell. Directed by Adrian Eagle.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all had a safe trip this evening. I understand this thunderstorm has made for some peculiar weather, but I am overjoyed to have you dining with us tonight. If you'll excuse me, I must fetch the appetizers.
Excuse me one moment. I'm sorry, I didn't get a name.
Reginald Deadbody.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Deadbody. Deadbody.
It is Dead Body.
Oh, that's what I said?
No, you said dead body. It's Dead Body.
I see.
No, you don't.
Very keen observation. I don't at all.
Let me put it to you simply. If my name was Dead Body, that would refer to a dead body, and that wouldn't be very beneficial to my public image. But with a long O sound, it's now pronounced Dead Body, and my precious image is preserved.
So, Mr. Dead Bodie.
Precisely.
Why exactly are we here?
Yeah, why are we here?
A very good point, sir. I assume you have all brought your invitation letters.
Mhm.
Yes. Everyone affirms they
Got it.
brought their letter except Detective Surgeon.
Well, this is a bit embarrassing, but I thought the letter was poisoned, so I disposed of it.
You disposed of it?
Yes, sir, I fed it to my dog.
You fed it to your dog?
Isn't that what I said?
But you thought the invitation was poisoned.
Yep,
I'm not sure I'm following your logic.
exactly.
Well, I'm glad we settled that. Now, for those of you who did bring your invitation, would you be so kind as to place them on the table? Thank you. Would someone like to read what your invitation says? No one? I see. How about you, Ms. Would you mind reading your invitation aloud?
I guess. Dear Mrs. I can't. I just can't. I'm not a Mrs. anymore. My dear husband passed away last year. His body was found a few miles from our house, hanging by his toes above a pit of ravenous wolves. His hands had been sawed off by a nail file, and his clothes had been torn to shreds and then carefully stitched back together, and then torn to shreds again. Oh, it's a struggle to find a reason to get up in the morning, because every day is just an eternal torment where the same question keeps floating around in my head. Who could have killed him?
Thank you, Ms. What is it?
Miss Window, Henrietta Window.
Your name is Window? How peculiar.
Peculiar. How dare you? The name Window has been in my family for generations.
Just out of curiosity, what did your husband do for a living?
He made doors.
I see.
Enough about me. What is your name?
My name is Samantha Detective, head surgeon of the local hospital.
And I'm David Surgeon, head detective of the local police station.
So your name is Surgeon Detective and your name is Detective Surgeon?
Yes.
I see. Well, I'm Sam.
A pleasure to have you. If I may, I suggest we steer back to the question of who or what brought you all here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, about a year ago.
A loud crash of thunder and lightning, blinding the audience for a moment. When the lights come back up, it appears Sam has been murdered.
Oh, God, he's dead.
He's dead. Good God.
He needs help. Detective.
Yes?
No, not surgeon detective, detective surgeon.
Let's see here. In my professional opinion, he looks dead. Probably murdered.
He's dead? Oh, cruel. He was so young. Why, God? Why? Wait a minute. Who's dead?
You are.
I am?
Well, not anymore.
Thank goodness.
How did you come back alive?
That's a good question. Did the lights happen to turn off?
Yes.
Yes.
That explains it. I have a rare sleeping disorder that hasn't been officially diagnosed by science. In its simplest form, I fall immediately asleep as soon as the lights are turned off. For example, there was one time when...
Reginald has exited the stage and turned off the lights. Henrietta screams. The lights then turn on and Reginald enters the stage again.
How peculiar.
What did I miss?
Fascinating.
Very intriguing.
It appears the devil has entered our midst.
How long have you had this disorder?
He speaks.
Very intriguing.
Who are you?
That is the real question, isn't it?
Very intriguing.
If you won't tell us, we'll just take your invitation and find out.
Very intriguing.
Will you shut up?
Make me.
Gladly.
Will you two please grow up?
Sam, the surgeon, and the detective stand up. The lights go out as thunder crashes. Henrietta steals the invitation under the cover of darkness. As the lights come back up, detective and surgeon are still standing while Sam is slumped in his chair, dead.
Sam, wake up. If you don't stop this fight, I'll probably kill someone.
You've got to be kidding me. Trust me, Sam, if you don't wake up soon, there will be no one to stop me from bashing in this man's skull.
Trust me, Sam. If you don't wake up this second, I will smear this surgeon's organs on the wall in the shape of a middle finger. Too far?
Way too far.
Sam, do you think I took it too far? Sam?
Sam? Can you hear me? Blink twice if you can hear me. He's still alive. Wait, nope, I was feeling my own pulse. He's definitely dead.
Not again.
How did he die, surgeon?
Don't look at me, I'm not a detective. Wait.
I was talking to detective surgeon.
Right.
Well, it could be one of two things. Either a cardiac arrest, or maybe it's this bullet in his head. It's pretty much a toss-up. We could flip a coin to find out.
While I respect your uncanny ability to find the cause of death, I believe I know who murdered this man.
Ooh.
Him!
But we don't even know his name.
According to his invitation, his name is Mr. Willkill.
It's pronounced Will Kyle.
That makes more sense.
Well, Mr. Willkill.
Please call me Etta. It's my middle name.
Well, Etta. That's super weird.
Weirder than surgeon detective?
Touché.
Thunder and lightning, lights go out. Surgeon is killed. Mysterious man has blood all over his shirt and is now sitting next to the dead body.
Well, I'm no detective, but I'm pretty sure it's Mr. Willkyle.
You are a detective.
Well, in that case, I'm definitely sure it's Mr. Willkyle.
Was it your father that made you into the murderous monster you are now?
I never had a father. I was abandoned as a child on the steps of the local orphanage.
I abandoned a son at the local orphanage.
My father gave me this half of a macaroni necklace in case he ever came back.
Mr. Willkyle pulls out a string of macaroni. Reginald pulls out the other half.
Henry?
Father?
I'm so sorry I left you. I figured you'd be safer in that orphanage rather than leaving a two-story mansion with several bathrooms and 3 kitchens and 4 basements and 1 3/4 of a library and 10 acres out back and 9 acres out front and 3 siblings and, well, it doesn't really matter now, does it?
I mean, it does matter now, probably more now than ever. But I forgive you.
The two embrace.
It was really just a ploy to get your mother to admit guilt.
My mother?
Thunder and lightning, lights go down, 2 gunshots. Lights come back up. Henry and Reginald are dead.
Good Lord, there's dead body.
There are actually 2 dead bodies.
No, not dead body, dead booty. It's obvious there are 2 dead bodies, but there's only 1 disembodied dead body of a dead body. Are you the somebody who murdered both these dead bodies?
Henrietta reveals a gun.
Very intriguing.
Yes, I suppose.
But why?
Reginald is my husband. I didn't realize until this evening that he had survived my attempt on his life. He's more resourceful than I gave him credit for. I wonder how he escaped those wolves.
But why kill his son?
Because he was my son and he would have given me away even if he didn't realize it. When he was dropped off at the orphanage, apparently he was given my maiden name, a name I had stopped long ago using. I had originally believed that child to be dead, but when I realized tonight that he was in fact still alive, I had to kill him. That maiden name could have ruined everything.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I didn't get any of that.
Don't beat yourself up. It's a very complicated chain of events.
So let me get this straight. You, Mrs. Wilkyle, or Mrs. Window, thought you were a widow after you murdered your woefully ignorant husband. You killed him because you couldn't concede to the world that you had a 4th child, a child whose name would have convinced the world that you were a considerable threat to society. Then you were invited to this wonderful dinner here where, upon entering, you suddenly realized your stupid spouse was still alive and ready to reveal your sacred secrets to the guests. You then decided to kill all of them before anybody could deduce your diabolical secret.
Yes.
But there's only one thing you didn't think about.
And what's that?
I have a gun too.
Both point their gun at each other. Lights go out, 1 gunshot. Lights come up and the 2 are dead. Henrietta and Detective had shot each other.
What did I miss? Great Scott! If only we had learned the name of the mysterious stranger earlier, this all could have been avoided.
End of play.
Oaxaca by Jerry Kelly. Cast: Paula, played by Rebecca Rameli. Jean, played by Josh Hartwell. Directed by Jim Hunt.
Oaxaca by Jerry Kelly. Characters: Paula, played by Rebecca Rameli. Jean, played by Josh Hartwell. Setting: a well-equipped but modest kitchen in Boulder, Colorado. Lights come up on a typical kitchen with appliances, 2 counters, and an eating table. There's a large window looking out onto the backyard. A small ash tree is visible, and its leaves are a deep purple, indicating fall. Paula is at a counter chopping vegetables for dinner, and Jean is at another counter going through a stack of mail.
Boy, it was a long day. We're wrapping up work on the house on Poplar Avenue. The drywall work is now completed, and the painters start tomorrow. We'll be done in a week, and then I'll need to find other general contractor projects to keep the company and us afloat. I guess I should be thinking about that now to avoid an income gap. Did you have a good day? Did your clients like the house?
It was good. They really like the house, and I bet they will make an offer tomorrow. In this market, they will have to bid above asking, but I think they have the means. That sales commission will be good.
Yeah, that definitely would be good. Hey, what's this? It's a brochure in Spanish and English featuring something about theater in Oaxaca, Mexico.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's from a theater troupe in Oaxaca, and they are offering a 3-month theater course. It will be held at the famous Teatro Macedonia Alcala. Can you believe it? I've always wanted to go to Oaxaca, and I would love to take a course like that. It doesn't sound too advanced, just right for me. I really want to get back into acting. I really miss it. It's really good for my soul, my mental health. It has been too long. I really need to tell Libby. Maybe I could convince her to sign up and we could take the course together. After I got home and saw the brochure, I did a little online homework on Oaxaca. It appears to be a special place with wonderful old architecture and colorful, busy market squares. It's so special that it was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its famous cathedral took 200 years to complete. And the restaurants. Oaxaca is the gastronomic capital of Mexico. It is known for its wonderful variety of mole. Apparently, there is one really special mole, a smoky, sweet negro made of some 30 ingredients that takes a whole day to prepare. Sounds wonderful and delicious. We must go and experience it all.
Look, Oaxaca sounds like a great place and a great place to visit. I totally understand your desire to go, but it'd be a lot of time away from work, quite expensive when you had airfare and room and board on top of the course at a time when we want to start saving more. Then there are the kids to think about. I know they're adults and out on their own, but they're still pretty young. Things can happen, you know?
I'm sure we can find a way to make it happen. Plus, we previously talked about going to Mexico and you sounded interested. Maybe you can at least come down for a while and join me. And we're only talking about Mexico. It's not like we're going to Africa or Australia. We could always quickly fly back were something to happen with the kids. You know that I can resist everything but temptation, and this is so tempting.
Yeah, I know you, and I'm still interested. But for me, 3 months is a very long time to be away. And I'm feeling pretty anxious without a backlog of projects in the pipeline. Sorry to be a downer. When is the course?
As usual, you are the practical one. It starts in early January. We could be down there for our anniversary. Perfect time to go together.
Maybe I could join you for a week. However, I promised the guys at work I would go hunting with them sometime in January. And then I told Mark I'd take a few days off to go skiing this winter.
But it would be so good for both of us and our relationship. We need to be together more. We need more together time to have our own adventure and reconnect. We've been so busy lately. We'll also need a break from winter. That warmth would feel so good, being in shorts and t-shirts. That's living the life.
I hear you and understand. We also said we'd pay down debts and start saving for the future, a retirement.
Damn it, Jean, don't you get it? Fine, be that way. I just may go on my own, find adventure on my own. I want to explore different places and people. I want something interesting, to feel different, more alive. I want to spend my 50th birthday down there. Life is too damn short. I sure wish that for once you would give priority to our relationship instead of work, kids, and your friends.
That's not totally fair, but okay. Okay, I get it. We'll do something fun and exciting around our anniversary and your birthday. I promise you. You and our relationship matter very much to me. I'll make the time to take a week off and go to Oaxaca. We'll go to theater, sightsee, eat at the good local restaurants, I promise. Just not for 3 months. And let's see whether more work comes our way. I'm sure there's still time to see what develops before having to sign up for the course.
Paula's cell phone rings and she answers.
Libby? Wow, what a surprise! How are you and Mark? Jean and I were just talking and both your names came up. You're kidding me. There's going to be a 3-month theater course in Boulder at the Boulder Theater this winter. What a coincidence. I just received a similar brochure for such a course in Oaxaca, Mexico this winter. I was going to talk you into joining me. However, the Boulder course would be much more affordable with no travel costs, no room and board. You bet I am interested, very interested. Yeah, let's do it. Even though I know nothing about the details, damn everything else. Okay, you need to run. We'll talk about the details and signing up later. You made my day. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon. Stay well and hello to Mark. Bye. Gee, maybe I should have gotten the okay from you before committing.
Yeah, but not really. This means you can take your course and get back into the theater, and we can take our anniversary trip to Oaxaca, all without breaking the bank and abandoning the children for 3 months. But serendipity. Life is good.
End of play.
Done With by Kira McCracken. Cast: Cynthia, played by Michelle Hahn. Mother, played by Rebecca Rameli. Jane, played by Anne Sando. Directed by Jim Hunt.
Done With, a short play by Kira McCracken. Cynthia, late teens, played by Michelle Hahn. Mom, late 30s, played by Rebecca Rameli. Jane, very late 60s, played by Anne Sando. Setting: Cynthia is standing near the sink of the restaurant watching the currently slow dining room as she half-heartedly sweeps the floor. Mom enters.
Stop sweeping and look at me now.
What, Ma? I'm doing exactly what you told me to do 5 minutes ago.
That isn't what I want you to do now. I have a much more important thing for you.
Well, what is it? I'd rather get it done now, please.
I need you to tell Jane that she is fired.
Cynthia looks over to the door where Jane is sitting at one of the tables doing a crossword puzzle.
Oh,
Go now. She needs to know today is her final day. We can't afford to keep her anymore.
why me? I'm only a teenager. My mom has experience doing all of this, hiring people and firing people. I shouldn't have to do this. But she scares me. I don't understand why everything has to be done by me. Everything I do, everything I say is judged and thrown back at me. I don't understand why it has to be like that. My mother doesn't let me breathe. It's just so suffocating. Why is it like this? What did I do to deserve this? Okay, fine. I'll do it. Hi, Jane. I really need to talk to you.
Oh, darling, hello. It's a pleasure to see you. Tell me, what's on your mind?
How many tables have you served today? Just need to write it all down for the books.
Well, dearie, I think it was around 5 or 6. One of them was so rude, complaining about the service and all that. I don't understand why they're so upset about it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with my attitude. They wanted the meal on the house, of course. I said no, and they went out yelling about never coming back. The nerve of some people.
Yeah, people can be really rude. I don't really get it.
Is that all, sugar?
No, I still have a few more questions.
Ask away. I love answering questions from my favorite mini boss.
My ma was wondering if you were going to take any vacations anytime soon?
No, none at all. I'll have to work here for another year in order to go on vacation. I always wanted to go to France. Oh, when I finally get to go there, I'll tell you all about it.
Okay. I can't wait.
What are you doing, Cynthia? It doesn't look very productive. You do realize that you are at work and have a job to do?
Don't be so harsh on her. She's just learning how to run things her own way. Ain't that right, dearie?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Just learning how to be my own person and such.
See, a lovely young woman you have raised.
It'd be better if she did what I told her to, right when I tell her to. No one likes to repeat themselves.
Ma.
Cynthia.
Jane, I hate to be the one to tell you. Honestly, I don't know why it had to be me. But we have to let you go.
Oh. Right now?
Yes.
I guess I'll finish up this day and head out. It was a great experience, Cynthia.
I'm gonna miss you.
Jane pats Cynthia's cheek and exits the stage without another word.
You shouldn't miss people you fire. There's a reason why you get rid of people. Getting attached just causes too many issues. You'll never fire anyone properly if you continue to get attached to your coworkers.
Ma, I fired her for you. Why are you getting mad at me?
Don't speak with such an attitude. I am only teaching you a valuable life lesson.
Any experience I gained from this doesn't mean anything to me. I lost someone I considered a person to look up to. All my mother ever wants from me is to do her dirty work. Ugh, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I wish I didn't have to go through all of this pain for my mother to be satisfied. Is a thank you too much to ask for?
Finish sweeping.
End of play.
A Girl and Her Chicken by Paula Preston. Girl, played by Michelle Hahn. Grandpa, played by Jim Hunt. And Boy, played by Ben Griffin. A girl loves her family and her chickens. Grandpa, Pa, loves his granddaughter, always helpful. Boy, very popular and ambitious young man, and Blackie, the girl's chicken. A young girl comes out onto a wooden porch and is spreading feed for her chickens.
Here, chick, 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 chick. Here, Pika, Pika. Shakespeare, Shakespeare. Here, Blackie. Roly poly, stop that. Be nice. There's plenty. Here, Blackie. Who's a good boy?
We hear chicken cluckings throughout. She sits down on the porch and puts Blackie, the chicken, in her lap.
Hey, girl. Has he called yet?
Not yet.
Well, when he does, can you ask him if he can help me fix my lawnmower?
He's a geology student, Papa, not a mechanic.
Well, even so, you said he was handy. Did you tell him about the strawberry preserves you put up?
Not so sure he cares about that.
What guy wouldn't want homemade jam?
I'll tell him, Pa.
Okay. Gran says mac and cheese for lunch.
He leaves.
Okay.
She speaks to the chicken.
I swear. I think Pa is more excited for me to talk to Brad than I am. I mean, I'm just not sure what I'm going to say when he calls. I miss him. I really do. I keep remembering how much fun we had on the river. It was so dreamy. Like when my cousin and I used to play in the fort we made in the willows out back. Pa's right. Brad is really handy. When we were in the Grand Canyon and it was our turn to make dessert, he put a beater in his power drill and made whipped cream for the camp pudding. I love whipped cream. It's the most delicious thing in the world. And what is whipped cream, you ask? So yummy. Kind of like that gourd you found filled with worms. Or that bag of Doritos you stole from me. Don't think I don't remember. Brad was really silly. One time, when we had to climb out and carry our rafts around some big rapids, it was so hard. And he started chanting and singing, "Portage, portage." And then everyone was laughing and singing, and the words started to sound like it wasn't even a real word. It was impossible not to love him. Lying under the stars, we seemed such a teeny tiny part of the whole universe, totally connected to everything and each other. Everyone loved him. His rafting friends were so cool, dancing in the waterfalls and always helping each other. Being with him in that beautiful place was like church, I swear. We We love nature, don't we, Blackie? It was hard not seeing him in the fall. And then when he had a chance to come up to Greeley, there was that big blizzard. Remember that? When we had to dig you guys out. And then when I finally got to see him, when I went down to look at colleges, there was a big party and we didn't even get to talk much. I'm not so sure about his School of Mines friends. I mean, drinking and yelling at the game on TV, really? But I guess it's time to move on, or at least decide, or maybe just go with the flow like the river. The thing is, I really hate to leave you guys. I would miss you so much. I know Gran and Pa can take care of you, but I would really miss them too. And I guess I could come back for visits, but it wouldn't be the same. Or, I could just stay here and go to Northern Colorado. It has a wonderful Shakespeare program.
A chicken clucks. She speaks to the chicken on the ground.
I'm not talking to you, silly. Brad says he loves me and wants to start a life with me. But when he hears me hesitate, he says I don't love him enough. I hate to hear that, don't you? Am I not loving enough? I love you, and the sheep, and the Grans, and my friends, and the farm, and the mountains, and the rivers. You know what I mean. I mean, what is love, really?
FaceTime chimes. She puts Blackie down.
Hey, beautiful, what are you doing?
Feeding the chickens.
You're not reading them poetry, are you?
No, I should never have told you that.
Don't worry, babe. What happens on the river stays on the river. Listen, I found this great apartment. We only need one roommate. Dave says he'll go third. Do you remember Dave from the party?
The football guy?
Yeah, we've already signed the lease and got cable set up. Full sports package and PBS just for you. Oh, also some really great news. Dave's uncle has a fracking company and says he and I can work there next summer.
Fracking company?
I guess that means no river trips, but the money's really, really good. So everything is really looking up for me. How about you?
Well, thinking about DU, they have a really great theater program.
Theater?
I mean English.
Well, you know what they say, you can always teach with English. Way cool, but we'll only have one car.
I can take the light rail from Golden. Save the planet, you know.
Cool. So, when are you coming?
Well, I haven't decided. I'm not really sure. I've been wondering. Are you eating? What are you eating?
KFC. Finger looking good.
Cover your ears, Blackie. Chicken?
Well, yeah. Hello? Hello?
Brad. I've decided.
End of play.
Changing Colors by Libby Hens. Cast: Clarice, Ann Sando. Leonard, Jim Hunt. Clarice, older woman, 50s to 60s. Gray streaks in her thinning, dark brown hair. Her brown eyes are beginning to get cloudy with age. A nimble pair of glasses sits on the bridge of her nose. She has a beige skin tone. Normally wears a loose, solidly colored shirt with a knitted sweater over the top, black leggings, and Ben Simmons shoes. Clarice lives in a suburban part of Cahors, France. She is commonly found bent over in her garden, which is in the yard behind her house. Here, she grows a variety of plants, mainly flowers, succulents, cantaloupes, and cactuses, although there are some other fruits and vegetables as well. She believes in growing enough for everyone, even all the neighbors down her street and the little creatures that'll sneak in looking for food. Her garden is her pride and joy, after all. She never got married or had any children. For this reason, it brings her great sorrow when fall comes and her garden dies for the year and she must say goodbye. Her next door neighbor is Leonard. Despite the snappish way she treats Leonard most of the time, she really is a pleasant woman with such a caring and motherly personality. Leonard, older man, 50s to 60s. His hair was a darker shade of gray, only recently becoming completely gray, instead of gray streaks in the brown that it once was. Sky blue eyes with a thick pair of glasses propped on his nose, although sometimes his glasses are hanging off of the collar of his button-up flannel because he's wearing contacts. His skin tone is a soft ivory. His lower arms and legs are more leathery and tan than the rest of his body due to more time exposed in the sun. His usual attire is cargo shorts with a short sleeve flannel over a white t-shirt and a black canvas or leather belt, usually canvas, or he'll wear khaki pants with the same belt. Much like Clarice, Leonard lives in a suburban neighborhood in Cahors, France. Clarice, as you might have guessed it, is his next door neighbor. Many find Leonard as standoffish, cruel, snappish, fast to judge, annoying, bombarding, abrasive, etc. But to be fair, it's only because he misses having people to love him. It's been 20 years since his wife passed away, and his son and daughter have long since grown up and moved away to pursue their passions and dreams. This left Leonard to become old and cranky. But really, his real reason for annoying Clarice was the hope that maybe he would be acknowledged and noticed. He knew how much she cared about her garden. He wished someone felt the same for him. That's why, with the coming of fall, he was happy in a way, because there would no longer be a garden for Clarice to tend to, so perhaps she would spend more time with him. That was Leonard's hope, at least. Setting. It is a cool autumn afternoon in a suburban neighborhood in Cahors, France. On stage left, there is a light gray modern house, and on stage right, there is a very similarly built house, except light baby blue in color instead of light gray. A picket fence separates the two houses. The sound of an average neighborhood can be heard, the occasional car driving by, children playing, dogs barking, a slight breeze, etc. At Rise, Clarice is sitting in her backyard in her garden, pulling out weeds and trimming a few overgrown plants. Her hands are caked in mud, and the scent of fresh soil could be present. There are several trees around them, all with yellowing leaves, a sure sign of autumn. A slight breeze blows through, and a few golden yellow and orange leaves shake off of the trees. She is humming the chorus of one of her favorite songs. Some commotion can be heard coming from backstage, Leonard's house.
Hey, Sonia, how are you doing? Oh, that's wonderful to hear.
Clarice walks from the sunflower to the corner of the garden where a large plant awaits, sits and pats the cantaloupe.
How are you doing? If it isn't old Callie, getting nice and plump, are you? I'll miss you, old Callie. You were a good one.
Clarice stands and goes to a cactus in a flower pot.
Carl, have you been behaving? How many times must we have this conversation, Carl? Behave. You know you're not supposed to prick anyone. Unless Leonard comes around, feel free to give it to him good.
A commotion is heard from stage right, then a few grunts of frustration. Leonard enters with a lawnmower and begins mowing his lawn.
Speak of the devil.
Why did I wait so long to mow the lawn?
The lawnmower breaks. Leonard rolls his eyes and grunts in frustration once more.
Great. Of course, this would happen on today of all days.
Oh, Leonard, quit your yapping. You're bothering my ears and my crops.
What are you complaining about this time, Clarice?
Just your pitchy voice yammering about this and complaining about that. I mean, come on, Leonard. Do you ever shut up?
It's always my voice with you, huh?
Don't act so flattered, Leonard. It's not a compliment.
Flattered? You were mistaken. May I remind you, I raised 2 children, Claire. I know all the insults. Therefore, I am immune to such atrocities.
I don't care about your children, Leo. And don't call me Claire. My name is Clarice.
All right. I won't call you Claire, but you can't call me Leo. And don't pretend like you don't care about my children, Clarice. You may not have had children, but we both know that that garden is your pride and joy.
Clarice walks away into her garden.
Oh, sure, just walk away from me.
It's okay, my lovelies. Just ignore him. Oh, Leonard.
Claire, Clarice, I'm sorry. I know that the coming of autumn brings you great sorrow. We go through this every year.
Sonia, Callie, Carl, you will come back next year, right? You won't leave me alone with him, will you? I love you guys. It pains me to see you leave, but you all have done very well this year and deserve retirement.
Leonard approaches the garden and bends down to pat Callie.
It really is a beautiful place you have here, Clarice. I don't understand, though. Why don't you just move on?
No one touches Callie. You have children, Leonard. I never met that one person in my life. I never got the opportunity to have children. Our HOA doesn't allow dogs or cats, so my children are my plants.
No, please, plants are nothing like children. You don't know what words you speak.
You speak lies, Leonard. Carl, do your thing.
What was that?
That was Carl the cactus. And it's safe to assume that Carl doesn't like you. Use the washcloth on your wounds. You'll be all right.
Well, why doesn't it like me?
First of all, it has a name. Its name is Carl. You know that. Second of all, it's because Carl is very protective and will hurt all threats. You, Leonard, are a threat.
I'm a threat?
Indeed, you are. A threat to our way of life.
What way of life?
This way of life, the start of life, the growing and maturing of plants, the providing for an aging mother, watching nature change, watching all good things come to an end, changing colors, and the end of life.
That's one strange way of life, but it still makes me question, why do you get so upset every year when fall comes?
They are my life. Every year I watch them grow and change, but every year I must say goodbye because the frost will get them.
So what? It's just a little frost, and you'll always grow more next year. They're nothing like children.
I'd be careful where I step if I were you. Last time you said that, Carl decided to take initiative. We wouldn't want that happening again, now would we?
No, I suppose not.
Oh, wonderful. Glad to see that we can agree.
No. I never said I agree with you. I simply wouldn't want to be pricked by your cactus again.
No excuses, Leonard. Excuses.
Whatever do you mean?
I'd say you're too scared to accept the truth, Leonard.
What? No, I'm not.
Too afraid to accept when you're wrong.
I don't cower from such a petty task.
Too abrasive to recognize your faults.
Your words are wrong, Clarissa. Clarice.
Too hot-headed to accept defeat.
I don't accept what hasn't happened. You say I've been defeated, Clarice? I say the war has only just begun.
You want a war? Then so be it.
You're desperate for any sign of love, Clarice. So you have turned it to the form of love you can control. Too afraid of being hurt by real love.
This love is real. It's the same way you loved your...
Don't you dare say her name, Clarice. Do not bring her into this. This is our fight, not hers.
Why shouldn't I bring her into this? That seems to be the only form of love you understand.
Edith passed away nearly 20 years ago. She was the love of my life and brought me my beautiful children. She knew me a way no one else did. And this is how you act? You play it against me? They're just plants, for crying out loud. Get over it.
Yes, yes, this isn't the first time I've heard the love story between you and Edith, and certainly won't be the last. Oh no, I'm not going to just get over it. Your children moved out 10 years ago. They left the nest just like they all do eventually. You've been so sour every day since then, but you don't see me telling you to get over it now, do you?
Like I said, it's different. They're children. These are plants. I don't have to get over it. But this is just a yearly occurrence with you. You expect it every single year, so why doesn't it get easier for you? Why don't you just learn to move on?
Because, Leonard, grief is a powerful spell that holds us down. No matter how expected the loss may be, no matter how much we fight, it still comes back to haunt us and bite us in the haunches. Let me ask you a question. You love your children, do you not?
You do not need to explain the nature of grief to me. I have dealt with grief. I've seen more of it than many people have. Now, don't lecture me now. Yes, of course I love my children. I wouldn't be anything without my son and daughter.
Exactly. So you see, I too love my plants, just like you love your children.
No, you don't, Clarice. The love between parent and child is a rare and special love. Your plants can't fill that void in your chest. Don't even try.
You are so wrong, Leonard. I'm going to try. That void will be filled. Your children, they are a part of you. You raised them, you watched them grow. You helped them become the best versions of themselves. You cared for them through every defeat and through every victory. You pick them up when they fall. You help heal them when they are ill, and they filled your void. When will you understand that that is exactly what Callie, Carl, Sonia, and all the others provide me?
What do you mean?
I loved them like the husband I never had, Leonard. I loved them like the children I never got the chance to have.
I'm sorry, Clarice. I didn't know what you went through. I didn't even realize what your plants provided for you, but I think I might understand now. I guess you're right, Clarice. After all, love is love. All of your children really are beautiful, Clarice. You've done an excellent job raising them.
Oh, Leonard, I knew you would understand.
I do. And I'm sorry that it took me so long to realize. These are all your sons and daughters.
It is okay. At least now you see and recognize the truth.
Exactly. And while I'm apologizing, there's someone else I need to apologize to. I'm very sorry, Carl. I didn't mean to seem like a threat before. You should never have to feel like you need to protect your mother from me. Can we call it a truce?
Carl says he accepts your apology, although he doesn't seem to want a truce. Apparently, he thinks that will be admitting that you are of equal strength, and he doesn't want to be as weak as you.
Oh, I expected as much. Just don't go stabbing me again, little guy. Can I help you with your final harvest of the year?
You really are a changed man, aren't you?
It would appear so. What can I say? I guess autumn really does have an impact on me.
Trust me, fall changes more than just the color of the leaves. Take this box and put all harvested plants in here.
Yes, ma'am.
Goodbye, my children. I will miss you all. But I know that one day we shall meet again. It's the circle of life, after all.
It's okay, Clarice. You gave them all a wonderful life.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't make it any easier.
I know it doesn't help, Clarice, but it can help provide some comfort at such a devastating time.
You're right. Thank you.
I think I'm done.
Yep. Me too. Goodbye, my darlings.
Hey, it's okay. They'll always come back next year.
Yeah, I suppose so. After all, the colors don't change forever.
Exactly. Nothing lasts forever.
I guess it's true what they say. Wisdom really does come with age. Anyway, this way, Leonard. I'll make us some dinner.
Leonard and Clarice exit stage left to Clarice's house. Lights dim to make it feel like the end of a day. End of play.
Mistress of Shadows by Sarah Myers. The cast: Elena, played by Michelle Hahn, Veronica of Gallo, Rebecca Ramelli. Elena is 17, female, witch, stoic, helpful, human, and brave. Veronica is in her 30s, female, witch, stern, hides her emotions, appears as a ghost apparition. The location is not real and not imaginary at the same time. The space is in limbo, the vision of a massive castle. Elena goes there to find Veronica of Gallo, the lost daughter of Morgana Le Fay. She wanders the halls to find her in the massive castle.
Wait!
Enters and sees Veronica's back, freezes in fear and takes a step back.
You're Veronica. Veronica Le Fay. Mistress of Shadows. Morgana Le Fay's daughter.
Elena sees a silver apparition of a young woman, a slim figure similar to a Renaissance woman. She is wearing a Spanish-style 12th century dress, a purple silk with light purple satin dripping down to the floor, golden white beaded slippers, and a golden heart-shaped locket. Her hair swept up into a tight bun.
Yes. You know my family name? Are you friends with my mother?
Yes, I knew her. She told me about you. She trained me for some time. She wished for me to one day to meet you. Preferably, she would have wanted to be in the room with us. She wanted me to ask you some questions, and I maybe thought you would answer mine.
I have so many questions. Where to start? But before I start, I want to know a bit more about you. After answering you, you tell me what your response is and vice versa.
Okay.
What was she like? Like personality-wise?
Well, it's not as highly as you think. Morgana had many personas and many names. In the past, she was loyal, fair, brave, caring, honorable, and kind. But she wasn't always like that. She lost her way, betraying everyone she knew and loved, except you, obviously. Becoming evil and cruel, cold, power-hungry, and bloodthirsty.
That doesn't sound at all like what I thought she was.
Yeah. She was just like the stories told about her. But there is good at the end of her story. She redeemed herself shortly after meeting me in the 21st century, So there is some good still in her.
What was your mother like?
My mom is a kind-hearted, hardworking, stubborn woman. She's so awesome. She cares for me so much and loves to spoil me. I'm lucky to have her. And I have so many fond memories of her and I.
Where is Morgana now?
She's no longer in my world anymore. She died saving my life. She now lives in the afterlife.
Ah, I can her. I'm so sorry about your loss, though.
It's fine.
Where's your mom?
Luckily, she's alive and well. She's back on Earth at our house in Arcadia, California. She's waiting for me to return, hoping that I'm not getting eaten alive or something she always worries about.
Did Morgana ever mention me at all?
She talks about you all the time. That was the one thing I could never make her stop talking about.
What did she talk about me?
She told me how I looked like you. It reminded her of you. Beautiful brown eyes and cute dark brown hair. Her words of the last day she saw you. Seeing me reminded her of you, and that made her become good. Seeing an image of you and thinking of you in her mind was like a drug addiction. She didn't want to think about it, but it drove her crazy when she did. She missed you so much.
I can see the resemblances. What did she like?
She loved magic and being around magical creatures. She loved her family and was loyal to everyone close to her.
What about your mom?
Same thing, but I don't think she's seen a magical creature before, like I've already have.
Was she good at it? What was she good at?
She was a really good teacher, despite not admitting it. And she was a great sorceress. She had great staffsmanship and craftsmanship. She was a great combatant and a skillful orator. I had an interesting year knowing her. Is that enough information?
Yes. Thank you so much. I haven't talked to someone in 900 years.
Why?
Well, having the only person who you know that is related to you be immortal. Existing on Earth for more than 900 years doesn't feel good to the soul and makes you feel lonely.
I'm sorry for all of your life and beyond. You've never seen your mother or anyone else. I can't imagine a life like that.
I wouldn't wish this life on anyone, even people I hate. But I don't like talking about this. Let's talk about something else. You. I want to know about my mother's apprentice.
Well, my name is Elena Maria Nunez. I just turned 17 years old. I live in Arcadia ever since I was born. I love to travel. Want to see the world when I graduate from college.
I don't understand half of what you just said. I lived in Spain with my adoptive mother and my mom's lady in waiting since I was 2 days old. What hobbies do you like to do?
I love to ski, mountain bike, paint, draw, play the violin, go to school. I also love solving puzzles. What games do you like?
I love playing with puzzles and painting too when I was younger than you. What's your favorite color?
Yellow. You?
Purple.
What's your...
Both hear a loud ding-dong sound.
That's the sound of the clock striking 12 o'clock. You better get home. Shouldn't you be doing your homework before going to bed for school tomorrow?
How do you know that?
Shh. Go on now. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
She runs out of the room and out of the castle outside to a portal home to Earth.
Luck, my child. See you soon.
End of play.
The Exonerating Qualities of Nine Ball by Rick Long. Brett, played by Luke Sorge. Walter, played by Jim Hunt. And Ouida, voice off stage, played by Rebecca Romali. Brett is pissed that he's been told to put together a puzzle with missing pieces. Walter, Brett's granddad. Ouida, Brett's grandma, a voice on a speaker. The setting is a small, barely two-car garage with machinery and power tools, a poster of Marilyn Monroe lying naked on a large sheet of red velvet, tattered around the edges, a well-worn dartboard. The pool table dominates the area. Walter is lying under the table, working on one of the table legs.
Oh my God, it's freezing. I swear the wind is different up here. Hey, they only had the shorter socket extension, but Mel said to bring it back if it didn't work. He said you knew the drill. You know something, those guys at McHaven's, I think they all wish you were their granddad too.
You got that 9/16?
Oh yeah, here, sorry.
Ask Mel if this was the longest one he had.
Yes, sir. Is it gonna work?
I think it just... Gee, golly, dang it, son of a mother hoochin!
Jesus Christ, what happened?
Walter rises.
Golly whiz, boy! I thought I told you not to take my savior's name. Now, didn't I? This is my garage, damn it. Like your grandma told you, it ain't the set one of them stinking rap videos you kids are.
Okay. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I just want to play a game, okay? Look, the table's level enough. Can we just play?
Do you know where my micrometers are? Second drawer over there on the right, next to...
Granddad, dude. Just rack the balls, okay?
Fine, Mr. Cocky. Don't let your grandma hear you're all puffed up like that.
Walter points to the intercom speaker.
Turn that thing down, would you?
Brett turns the knob on the intercom.
God damn it, that was close. I forgot I had that stinking thing on. Sometimes I forget, and I just know she sits there and listens in on me in my own damn house. She hears whatever the hell I'm out here bitching about. I put the goddamn thing in to keep her away from the garage, but I think sometimes it works vice versa.
It's freezing in here.
Well, smack that thing.
Brett smacks the side of the space heater.
Oh, look out, I got it.
Walter smacks the side of the heater, and the fan comes to life.
Hey, you never hear of Fonzie? Jeez, sourpuss. You sure you're my grandson? You want a break?
Hell no. Be here all day if I break.
What? You can't be here all day?
Mom wants me to come back. Something about yoga, I don't know. So I can hang out for the morning and then I'm gonna drive back. Look, I know I haven't been able to come up as often.
Yeah, I better break. Get this thing going.
Walter breaks the pool balls.
I feel so sorry for you.
You say that every time we play.
So let's play question for question while we shoot.
Sure, you first. But nothing else about that lady with the Volvo, okay?
I can just see you trying to change your tire, hopping up and down on the lug wrench.
How did I know they went the opposite way?
Hi there, ma'am. You need some help? Here, let me bust your entire wheel assembly right here on the side of the highway.
Anyway, I got her phone number.
Hey. All right. Now, what the hell are you so pissed about? We must have played 1,000 games in here by now, but this feels like you want to wrestle me instead of shooting pool. Brett, is that what you want? You want to go around her too? Because if you do, let me warn you, you better pack a lunch and bring some friends, fella, because it's going to take you a while. You understand me?
I don't want to fight you. I'm sick of fighting. You're the only one I don't fight with.
That's a good thing, boy, because it would have took you a while. There'd be 2 hits in a fight like that, I'm telling you.
I'm so pissed at you.
I'd hit you, then you hit the floor, and that wouldn't take very... What did you say?
You heard me. And I'm way too fucking scared at this moment to say it again.
Okay. Let me think. Just for a second.
I think it's my shot.
You know, I gotta say, Brett, I've been sitting here thinking, and I honestly can't think of anything that I have done within your lifespan that would convince me that you had the right to be anything close to pissed at me for any reason. Unless
You never
it
told me
has
about that
something
thing
to
with my
do with your mom. And what exactly is it that you want to know? Go
Question
on.
for question?
On guard, senor.
How the hell could you leave her?
I thought it would be a new question.
I don't understand how you can sleep at night knowing you destroyed her life.
I sleep very well, son.
But you still did it. You had to give her permission, man. I found the box of their wedding pictures and it had the certificate with your name on it. And the date, bro. You signed it. And you know what? I want to know why. I want to know why, God damn it. Why? Did you not love her? I'm beginning to wonder why everybody loves you so freaking much, man. It's like nobody knows what I know about you. I used to be one of them, but it's like I know things now that I didn't before, and it's completely messing up my head. It's like you're the only normal guy that I've got left, and I just found out that you suck. Look, if you didn't let her go, then she wouldn't have done the things then he wouldn't have done the things that he did to her. If you didn't let her go, then she might have gone to college or something, had a normal freaking shot at things. If you didn't let her go, she would be...
If I didn't let her go, she wouldn't have had you.
I wish she wouldn't have.
Oh, Brett.
It's your shot.
You know, it's kind of impossible for me to look at you as though you were a mistake.
You try having 4 fucking stepdads. You know that we counted when I was a sophomore last year, and we've moved 24 times? I went to 4 different schools in the 9th grade, so...
No, I get it.
Yeah, epiphanies suck sometimes, don't they?
You're a smart boy, Brett.
Prove to me you're not the asshole I'm beginning to think you are, Walter.
I don't have to prove.
She had to check herself into the damn hospital when she had Skip. She was barely 16.
God damn it. I know. I was there. You weren't. I know. I signed the damn paper, all right? I was a horrible father. Is that what you want to hear? You didn't know your mother like I did, Brett. She was a hell of a lot tougher on me than she ever was on you. All through junior high, high school. Jesus Christ, all she did was raise hell. Your grandma and me, we talked about it when she met your dad, and we figured that she was going to get pregnant anyhow. Where do you think you got your strong head from, boy? Think about it, Brett. That little girl was running away with or without my permission. And if you think that's a mistake, then all right, I made a mistake. But the way I look at it is, I didn't have much of a god darn choice, no matter what you think.
But you could have told her that she couldn't.
Really? Do you honestly think there's anything I could have said to your mother that would have kept her here instead of running off to California on an adventure with some handsome, full of shit Navy boy? You think the reality that we offered her was going to compete with the bullshit he promised? Brett, I mean, think it over. Look at the life I've tried to lead, son. I don't make mistakes because when I do, I know how much they hurt. I love your mother, and would have loved it if she would have stayed with me and your grandma, but Brett, she didn't. She lived a life where she made choices on her own, regardless of what we thought. And the end result, even if it felt like a mistake at the time, is that I got you. Now, I'm sorry that you had so many dads, and I'm sorry that you had so many houses, but I don't think you would truly go back and change it all if you could, would you? You have a mother who loves you, and a brother who loves you, and a grandmother who loves you, and a grandfather who sucks. And that's 2 for 3, boy. That's better than most. So if it all started with some mistake I made, then Brett, that's the best goddamn mistake I've ever made, and one that I will never, you hear me, never apologize for.
You know, I should probably get back in the car and get back to Mom. She's got some
yoga. You said that.
It's pretty weird.
You got a key to this place. Don't forget that.
Weda's voice is heard over the intercom.
Calling all pool sharks! Calling all pool sharks! It sounds like you've had a fun conversation, and I thought you would enjoy some ice cream sandwiches in the kitchen. Calling all pool sharks, ice cream sandwiches in the kitchen.
Golly, dang it, oh man. I thought you turned this off. All right, Weda, sweetheart, we'll be right there.
Sorry. Thank you, Grandma.
Pointing toward the space heater.
Smack that thing, will you?
Got it.
Smacks the heater.
Exactamundo.
Holding up the intercom.
Next time, let's just unplug this.
God damn it. Brett? Understood?
Walter? Maybe.
I'll take it.
Yeah, but I do have another question.
Oh, God damn it. What?
When you told me to pack a lunch, was that just for me, or should I pack one for all my friends too?
Brett shuts off the garage light. End of play.
Giving Her Away by Robin Darnell. Cast: Charlotte, played by Anastasia Davidson. David, played by Jim Hunt. Julie, played by Ann Sando. Charlotte, a spunky woman in her mid-20s, desperate to have control over her own life and be loved by someone, hates the idea of her life becoming boring. David, her father, a quiet man in his early 60s, commits himself a little too strongly to his relationships, yet doesn't take himself very seriously. He holds on to people tightly, which can make the wrong person leave and the right person want to stay. Julie, David's wife and Charlotte's mother, a kind-hearted woman in her early 60s, the kind of person who can diffuse any situation and perfectly understands the people she loves, David's voice of reason and just the right person for him. Setting: the quiet front porch of David and Julie's home on the night that Charlotte announces her engagement to her boyfriend Mark, whom her parents don't approve of. At Rise, the porch in front of a cozy home. On the left side of the porch, there is a large porch swing decorated with several outdoor pillows. On the right, there is a small table surrounded by several chairs, which are similarly decorated. The front door has a large sign that reads, "No solicitors." Charlotte storms out of the front door, quickly followed by David. She stops in the middle of the porch and turns away from him. The two are clearly in some sort of an argument.
For once in my life, can you let me make a decision for myself?
Harley, please. I just want what's best for you.
No, you want what's best for you. I'm a grown woman. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life doing exactly what you say. I love Mark. I love him, and I'm going to marry him with or without your approval.
Harley, this isn't about my approval. It's about your future.
Exactly. My future. Mine. What happens now is completely up to me. I'm not your responsibility anymore. I'm not a scared little girl who needs to hold your hand. All of my life, I've done what you've told me to do. For once, I want to do something for myself, something that my heart tells me to do. Dad, please, can't you let me have this? A chance at happiness in my future with the man that I love. Fine. Well, if you won't let me have a say in my future, then maybe you don't deserve a place in it.
Charlotte runs back into the house and slams the door behind her. David lets out a long sigh and goes to sit on the porch swing. He buries his head in his hands and doesn't look up. Julie enters and sits next to him on the swing.
So, do you want to talk about it?
No,
Come on, Dave.
I said no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's not your fault. No, none of this is your fault.
To be honest, hon, it's nobody's fault. She fell in love with someone. Can you really blame her for that?
But why him? Why couldn't she have fallen for a guy with a job and an education and multiple pairs of shoes?
Because then she wouldn't be your daughter. You two were always the unconventional ones, especially when it came to love. You happened to fall in love with a girl who wanted to be a singer. She fell in love with a guy who has dreams of becoming a professional water slide tester.
Yes, but you at least had ambition and talent. Mark, well, he...
Makes her happy. He makes her happy.
Why are you defending him? I thought you didn't like him either.
I'll be honest, I didn't approve when they first started dating. But they're not just dating now, they're getting married, starting a life together. It's out of our hands and not worth fighting. They're in love.
I just don't want to see her waste her life on some guy.
Dave, are we talking about the same daughter? This is the same girl who once dumped a guy because he laughed at the wrong line in a movie. Trust her. She'll be fine. I think we both know what this is about, Dave. You're afraid of losing her.
She's my little girl. Of course I'm afraid to lose her.
She's not a little girl anymore. And if you're not there for her to walk her down the aisle and give her away, then you'll lose her anyway. It's going to be okay, honey. Just think about all the times you thought she was going to crash before, when she was learning to walk, when you built her that bike, her first boyfriend. She came out just fine from all of that. Just fine. And this is no different.
Julie exits. David stares at his hands for a moment, still clenched in fists. After a long moment, David lets out a sob and releases his hands so that they sink limply in his lap. After another long moment, Charlotte awkwardly comes out of the house and stares at David. She then goes to sit on one of the chairs opposite the porch swing.
Did I ever tell you about the first time I ever built a bike?
Dad, now is really not the time for another boring story with a vague moral message.
I didn't think so. The first time I ever built a bike, it took me 2 weeks. I read the instructions 3 times before I even looked at the pieces that needed to be assembled. I remember taking each part of the bike out and separating them into little piles. The garage floor was covered in them, but when it came time for actual building, I was scared. I was scared that I would break something that I couldn't replace or put something in the wrong place and it would make the entire bike collapse. But your mother, and this shouldn't surprise you, was tired of not being able to park in the garage and forced me out there one Sunday afternoon to finally get the darn thing built.
Let me guess, you got it built in 5 minutes and you wondered why you were even scared in the first place.
No, it ended up taking me all night and halfway through the morning to get the bike built correctly. And when it was finally done, let me tell you, I was very attached to that bike. I'd spent hours on it. It was almost as if I had a special connection with it. And yet, when the time came to give the bike away, I had no problems with it because I knew that it was going to you. I knew that you would take care of it and keep it safe, but more importantly, I knew it would make you happy.
Oh, Dad.
I may not understand why you've chosen the man you have, but I trust you. And if the invitation is still open, I would love to give you away at your wedding.
Oh, Dad, thank you. Thank you. I have to go tell Mark.
Charlotte rushes back into the house, leaving David alone on stage. David stands up from the porch swing and walks to the middle of the stage. He pulls out his wallet from his pants pocket and starts looking for something in it. He takes out a sparkly pink ribbon, one that goes on the handle of a little girl's bike. He gives it one last long look before dropping it to the ground and walking back inside the house. Blackout, end of play.
Life Goes On by Harry Pullman. Cast: Sarah, played by Rebecca Rameli. Bob, played by Luke Sorgi. The setting: a spring evening, 1956. Lights come up on a park bench. Sarah and Bob are sitting close to each other, holding hands.
I'm so sorry, honey, but I finally decided that I'm going to Dartmouth after all.
Really? But why? We decided we were both going to Ohio State.
I know, but Dartmouth is giving me a free ride, and my parents are having enough trouble right now. Even though it's in state, Ohio State will still be a budget buster for my folks, and they still have to worry about my brother's college costs coming up.
But that means we won't see each other except on holidays. We've been together for so long and we've done so many things together. I don't know what it will be like without you. We even joked about getting married sometimes.
I know. I don't want to be away from you either. Oh, this is so hard.
They briefly hug.
Maybe I should just go to Ohio State. I could live at home and maybe get a job.
Yeah, and I could get a job too. Maybe we could even live together. That might save some money and make it easier on your folks. What do your folks think you should do? Have they said anything?
They say I should do what I want. I think they're trying not to interfere. I sometimes wish they would say more. I'm so tired and confused, and I almost just wish someone else would make the decision for me.
Well, when do you have to let Dartmouth know?
By the end of the week.
Whew, that's really soon. Well, it's getting late. Let's just go home and try to get some sleep. Maybe you'll get some flash of insight that will help you make up your mind for sure.
Lights fade. The next day, a split stage, Sarah's bedroom and Bob's bedroom. They're on a phone call to each other.
Well, honey, anything new?
Although I'm really scared about it, I've definitely decided to go to Dartmouth. I sent in the acceptance letter this morning.
Bummer. I'm really going to miss being with you so much. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle this.
Same here. I wish there were a way around this lousy situation.
Lights fade. Fall, freshman year at college, Saturday afternoon, Sarah's dorm room at Dartmouth, and Bob's frat house room at Ohio State. They're on a phone call to each other.
Hi, honey. How's it going? Are you having a good time? And are you meeting any fun people? I'm meeting a lot of neat kids from all over the place, and I'm having a pretty good time. But I still miss you and home a lot. How are your classes going?
Well, classes are going okay. Nothing spectacular. And I've had a hard time not thinking about you. I keep remembering all the things we did and all the fun we had. It just sucks not being with you and seeing you and holding you.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I often wonder whether I made the right decision to come here. Things are okay, but it's just not the same without you. I do have some pretty cool classes. And I have been sort of kicking around with a guy from Boston. He's a junior majoring in archaeology. He's pretty fun, but not as much fun as you.
It sounds like maybe you're having a better time than I am. I'm just doing the usual sort of boring stuff, classes, a little bit of intramural sports things, frat parties, etc. I have been hanging around a bit with a gal from my freshman English class. Name's Nancy. We've gone to a couple shows and movies and to a dance, but there's nothing serious going on. I still miss being with you.
Lights fade. Christmas break. Lights come up on Sarah's room at Jim's parents' house. She's writing to Bob.
Hi, Bob. How's it going? I'm sorry, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get to see you this Christmas. I'm spending the holiday with Jim and his parents in Boston. They invited me to be with them for the holidays since it's so close to Hanover, and I wouldn't have to spend so much time traveling back and forth to home. His parents are really neat and a lot of fun. His dad's a broker at some big deal brokerage house, and his mom's an artsy type. She works at some gallery downtown. We've been going to some plays and a couple of Bruins games. His family are real hockey nuts. And the weather's been pretty cold, so we've done some ice skating on a nearby pond. What have you been doing? Are you going to be home for the holidays? And are you still seeing Nancy? I think that's what you told me her name was. I gather that you and she were spending more time together. What's she like? Anything like me? Of course, nobody could be as wonderful as me. I mean, our English teachers would flunk us. Oops, sorry to cut this short. Gotta run. We're going to eat at some fancy hole-in-the-wall restaurant that's so exclusive that only the in the know about it. I guess Jim's parents are in the know. Take care and keep in touch and have a good holiday. Hope to see you sometime. Love, me.
Lights fade on Sarah's room and come up on Bob's room. He's replying to a recent letter.
Hi, Sarah. Got your letter. Sorry we're not going to see each other this Christmas. I was really looking forward to being with you again, even for a little while. Maybe during spring break? I'm glad you're having a good time with Jim and his family. I gather you've been seeing quite a bit of him. Wish it could be me. I still miss you a lot, even though I have been having fun with Nancy. Like you two, we've been going to some frat parties and dances and various university plays and games. She's living at home to save some money, so we don't always get too much privacy, even though her folks are neat people and try to give us some space. Her folks are both university profs. Her dad's in physiology and her mom's in psychology. In answer to your question, Nancy's a lot like you. Really smart and pretty and vivacious and a lot of fun to be with. However, she's not you, which is what I really want. I wish you hadn't decided to go to Dartmouth, but I can see why you did. I only hope you're happy and that I will eventually be happy too. Guess that's it for now. Take care and keep in touch. And don't forget me. Love, Bob.
Lights fade on Bob's room. Summer after senior year, shortly after Sarah and Bob's graduations. Evening at a bar in New York City. Sarah and Bob at opposite ends of the bar.
Sarah? Is that you? I can't believe this. What are you doing here?
Bob? What are you doing here?
I'm here for a physics conference, and you?
I'm here for a psychology conference. Wow, what a crazy coincidence. Imagine after all these years, suddenly happening to be at the same place at the same time. Must be some kind of weird karmic thing.
Yeah, I thought when we hadn't been in touch for so long that you had long since gone off to be with Jim on some wild archaeological dig in South America.
Well, I thought that you had gotten holed up in some super secret project that you couldn't talk about without having some spooks in dark glasses kidnap you and take you to a black site, never to be seen or heard from again.
So where were you? And what are you doing now? God, you look so good.
Thanks. So do you. Well, after several really fun years with Jim, I discovered that he really was pretty controlling and almost always wanted his own way, regardless of what I wanted. I think maybe he got sort of spoiled with his pretty luxurious home life, Having a wealthy stockbroker father and a mother whose clients were la creme de la creme might have had something to do with it. Anyhow, I decided that I had had enough and broke up with him last Christmas. He was pretty crushed and kept chasing me, trying to get me to come back to him. And it was a hard decision for me because we did have a lot of fun times together. But I finally decided I had to break up with him. What's your story?
Well, like you and Jim, Nancy and I had a lot of fun times together, traveling to Europe during one summer and to Asia during another summer. We even talked off and on about getting married sometime, although it never got further than the kick it around stage. Although I really liked her a lot, I don't think I ever really loved her, whatever that means. I think she did love me, and I think she really wanted to marry me. However, I felt that there was just something missing for me. And I felt it wouldn't be fair to keep dating her when I didn't feel there was a good chance that I'd want to marry her. So I broke it off with her. Also last Christmas. Who knows? Maybe you were breaking up with Jim at the same time as I was breaking up with Nancy. Wouldn't that be a spooky coincidence? It wouldn't be any weirder than us just happening to meet in a nondescript bar on a nondescript day and time after not being in touch for almost 3 years. Truly bizarre, but happily so. Hey, I'm starting to get hungry. Are you here with anyone? If not, do you want to go get some dinner someplace? You're probably more familiar with the New York eateries than I am. Pick a place.
Yeah, I am getting hungry, and I do know several neat places. Hanover and Boston are pretty close to New York after all.
Lights fade as Sarah and Bob leave the bar. New York restaurant. Lights come up on a small, intimate table for two with a candle and a small bowl of flowers on it.
This is a really nice place. Good for you. I never would have discovered it.
I thought you'd like it. We used to know each other's likes and dislikes pretty well. Wow, it's so hard to believe it's been almost 3 years. I feel like we've never been apart.
So, tell me about your plans.
Well, I majored in psychology and did pretty well. I decided I liked it well enough, and I seem to be good enough at it, that I'm going to grad school to get my PhD and hopefully teach and do some research at the university level. I've already been accepted at Harvard. I start in September. What about you? What are you going to do?
This is incredible. I majored in physics, and I loved it and did well enough that I'm also going to grad school to get a PhD and hopefully teach and do research. Except I'm going to MIT. I start in September too.
What?
What?
We're going to be in the
same city.
You know, despite being out of touch over the past 3 years, it does seem like we've never been apart. I still feel so comfortable with you, and I love looking at your lovely, quirky face.
I feel the same way, but you have such a beautiful face. I'm glad we never got permanently hooked up with anyone else. It seems like we're really meant to be together.
Bob leans across the table and kisses Sarah. She kisses him back.
What a crazy world. Walk you back to your hotel?
Sarah and Bob get up from the table and leave the restaurant. End of play. Hey there, everybody. Just wanted to take a minute to say thank you first to all of our students for providing their work for us to read today and to hear aloud, and also to the actors and directors who helped us put together this wonderful afternoon of readings. And we hope you all enjoyed them very much.
Yes, thank you. Hope we made you proud, and look forward to seeing you again next week.
Take care.